Got rid of the keyboard, started running around the stage a bit more and just treating every gig as like a release, a way to get anything out that I can. And it's just, since that, like, it's connected with the crowds way more. And in turn, they start going off and, you know, it just becomes like a bit of a party, really. Yo, KLAT, this is Minas, and this is my Get to Know Me with KLAT. I guess just being exposed to, you know, both the circus and the sort of history in the scene and the music they listen to, it really impacted how I grew up. There's a lot of music that a lot of my mates in school at the time weren't probably into, but it was like everything. Like, my main toys was like this box of tapes, like cassettes. So I used to just sit in my room like a little weirdo, just listening to them and learning all the songs and stuff, rather than like playing with Lego. Yeah. There was this one time we were on tour, I can't remember where, it might have been somewhere in Ireland or something, and I just heard my mum screaming, like, "What are you doing?" And like looked up, and there was basically my sister was hanging on a trapeze off of someone's foot because they needed to clean the tent. So she's just at the top of this tent, and I was just hanging off, I think her name was Sheena, just hanging off her foot, just cleaning the tent. My mum starts freaking out. So that's probably a good memory, actually. That was funny. Well, I think from early on I was, you know, working with people, so I learned how to work with people, but you're also working with the visual side of it quite a lot, obviously, because you kind of, a lot of it was reactive, so we like compose to a point, but then, you know, sometimes a performance doesn't last as long as the night before, so you kind of have to react in a way, and I've always kind of kept that, even when I'm just working with an artist in a room, sort of working, almost like seeing the visual side of it and imagining how it's going to be performed or whatever. And I don't know, it's a cool way I found to, I guess, get the music to be a bit more than just the audio, if you know what I mean. So you're always thinking about the visual side of performance, and, you know, a song can go many places, so I think it's helped with that a lot. Well, it's changed the music a lot, because it started off quite, it was almost like chilled electronic stuff, and I always hated performing. Like, it was the worst part. Like, whenever we get a show, I was like, oh, just get it over with, because it was just, I was quite still, and I was behind the piano and the laptop, and I don't know, it never felt like fun. It never felt like I was getting anything out. And like, the more we sort of performed as a band, the more the music grew into like kind of what it is now. And yeah, got rid of the keyboard, started running around the stage a bit more and just treating every gig as like a release, a way to get anything out that I can. And it's just, since that, like, it's connected with the crowds way more. And in turn, they start going off, and, you know, it just becomes like a bit of a party, really. It's basically just been about writing stuff I'm happy with, because my last release was, you know, it was cool, but I didn't feel fully ready when it went out. So I wanted to take some real time to just work on new stuff, because I didn't want to do more of the same. So far, that's gone well, and I think we're pretty much at that point to release now. And I feel like I did when I released the album again, which is sick. Probably burial, to be honest. Not that that would ever happen, but I think I'd just be intrigued to see what would happen if we both came together in a room and made something. I think every city's different, every gig's different, but there's definitely a vibe in each city we played in that's quite unique to that city. So we played a couple of shows in Austin at South by and a couple of shows in New York before. I'd say actually the New York crowd was the most similar to Cardiff that we played outside of the UK. Austin was quite, I think they were like, I'm just going to take this in rather than, you know, going off. And like New York lot, they were all for it. Like we had mosh pits every show and we were like, okay, sick. And then it got to Austin and I think it was a lot of industry people and stuff like that. So it's a bit more like, okay, entertain me, you know what I mean? So, but yeah. There's the obvious time management, I guess, but I think I always would do my music when I had a free bit of time. It was always like on the back end of it, which kind of worked. But now that things are like kind of picking up with Minas, it's really important that I kind of almost prioritize my own project as if it's an artist I'm working with project. So I have to book the time in because, yeah, just like things, I was writing way too slow when I was just trying to do it when I had time. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird one that, because like the show Immortal by No Fit State, when we were with them, kind of, it wasn't until recently I really thought about it. That show's actually been such an inspiration to me, the way the whole thing was just like completely off the rails and quite dark at the same time. So yeah, I guess it'd be that, but with a bit more Valley's life involved, or yeah, just the shenanigans that I talk about in my songs, rather than like this. It was a bit more abstract on the No Fit State thing, but yeah, I guess like a show like that, but in the Valleys, would probably be the show. Probably teleporting, to be honest. Especially like the thing with Shivani, she, as of this being recorded, hasn't actually performed as her yet, which I'm very excited about. But me and Morvi, very different music, but similar performance. So I don't know if you'd agree, but I think it'd be sick if we could also teleport all around the crowd. That'd be pretty dope. Managed to juggle 2 balls for a bit. Anything past that, and it got confusing and I gave up. But what's the weirdest thing I've juggled? I had a go with fire clubs once. I don't know if that's weird. It was more terrifying. That lasted about a few seconds. I was like, I'm out, I'm not. I mean, I wrote that when I was going through some addiction issues, so probably would be like maybe swipe past this one for now. It's a bit of a headache right there. I mean, Bad Dreams are a bunch of lads from Australia, Benefits from Teesside, so probably end up being quite punk heavy, sort of, with a bit of spoken word. It's basically just them two together. Unless we just took a U-turn and started doing like, I don't know, Euro trance or something. But yeah.